Hey everybody! So I thought I'd just do a quick tour of the Needlebook just to give you a better idea of how things look. I know photographs can be a little bit tough to really tell what's going on, so here we go. And I thought I'd go through an empty version and then a almost full version just to give you some reference. So this is Maker and Strawberry Fields, and we'll get started with Strawberry Fields. So to open a Needlebook, you just pull on this flap, and there's no magnets or snaps or anything here. The front flap just tucks under the handle and looks like that. So we'll just tug on that, open it up. So this is an empty Needlebook, and it really does open just like a book. So I consider this to be page 1, and page 1 is just some needle slots for your either interchangeable or DPN needles. And then page 2, just some cord slots for, again, either interchangeable needles or fixed circulars. And then page 3 has a lot more going on. There's some hanging stitch marker storage, some non-hanging stitch marker storage, some scissor pocket, and this particular pocket is for your yarn needles, as you'll see in the next Needlebook. This is just a pouch for any old thing you'd want to put into a pouch. And then finally another set of needle slots, again for interchangeables or DPNs. So that is Strawberry Fields. And so here's Maker, and Maker's full of all kinds of things. So again, we just open it up. And page 1 in this case has my nickel-plated Knit Picks interchangeable set of needles, and I usually store my needles tips out, but you could definitely store your needles tips in this case. I know some people like to read the markings on their needles just to be able to find them more quickly and easily, so that's perfectly fine too. And then the only thing to note about this particular needle storage section is that I've actually sewn into this space a little strip of it's shelf liner, and it comes in 2 different ways. It comes sort of in a tacky way, and then this, which is the non-sticky, non-tacky. So this is just a little piece of plastic, and I've just sewn it in here just to keep your needles from sliding all over the place. So it keeps them nice and snug and secure there, so they're not, in the bottom of your knitting bag when you go to take out your Needlebook. Nobody wants their knitting needles sliding around. So that's that. And then this, of course, is the cord pockets in use. So these are just some of my Knit Picks interchangeable cords. And then this particular one is a fixed circular sock needle. So those can just tuck down in there. And then here's the stitch marker storage page in use. So here's just some standard plastic locking stitch markers, and then just some progress keepers, my embroidery scissors, and then some yarn needles. And this section is for non-hanging stitch markers. So for example, just these guys, you could just tuck your stitch markers right into the pocket and then close that up. And for the yarn needles, I like to keep this page open while I'm working, if I'm weaving in ends, snipping ends, doing repair work on my knitting. So in this particular case, I'm grabbing my scissors, I'm grabbing my yarn needles, so I'll just kind of throw my yarn needles at this magnet here. It is magnetic, so it's really convenient that way, especially if you have a tiny crochet hook for knitting repair work, and that can stick there as well. And this is the pouch pocket. And down in here, I just for size reference for you, I just have a standard Susan Bates gauge check here, and I've just tucked that down in the bottom, and there's lots of extra room. And then this is the other slot, the second slot for either interchangeables or DPNs. And so for me personally, I have 2 sets of interchangeable needles. I have one wooden set and one nickel plated. And so typically what I do is I put my wooden set here and my nickel plated set on this side. But I've seen people do all kinds of different things. A set of interchangeables on this side, sock DPNs, normal DPNs, all kinds of configurations work. So every one is individual. So that's that. So that's the Needlebook, and then it just closes up and it's ready to go. So there we are.